Okay, so I'm going to be factoring on this learning target to help me find the zeros. So I'm going to be looking for the two factors that multiply to give me this binomial. And I know that the first parts of each binomial are going to be an x because that's the only thing that will multiply to that x squared. Then after that, I'm looking for these two numbers right here to multiply to 16. So 1 and 16, 2 and 8, and 4 and 4 are our only options. Also, they need to add to 10. So I'm going to look through these and figure out which ones add to 10. That would be 2 and 8. It needs to add to a positive 10 and multiply to a positive 16, so I can do plus 2 and plus 8. Now here's a common mistake made. The most common mistake made is that you just put a 2 and an 8 down here. And that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for what x would equal. So I'm looking what x could equal to make this equal out to 0. So I need each term to become 0 because a product of two terms that equals 0, we know that one of them has to be 0. So that means x would be negative 2 or x would be negative 8. All right, next one, factor it out. Same thing again, I'd list these out here, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. And then this time I know that they have to multiply to a positive 12 but add to a negative 7. Well, the only way to get to a positive 12 but add to a negative would be to have two negatives. So I'm going to add these together and try and find one that adds to 7. So that would be this time 3 and 4. So minus 3 and minus 4. So my zeros on this one would be a positive 3 and a positive 4 because that's what would make this one of these two terms 0. Either 3 or 4 would make this equal 0. All right, and for my last factoring, start with x once again, and this time I have a minus and a minus. So I know the only way to get this last term to be negative is to have a plus and a minus. So this time our two terms are going to be the difference because one's positive and one's negative. So I got to look for the difference to be 12. So 1 and 28, 2 and 14, and 4 and 7. 2 and 14 are the only ones that work because the difference between those are 12. So I just got to think about which one's going to be which. I need it to be a negative 12. That means the 14 needs to be the negative and the 2 needs to be the positive. And that's in our factors. Now I need each term to become 0, so that would give me negative 2 and positive 14.